Hi, I'm Shannon or the Little One, and we're gonna look over what games I played in 2024. This was a really good year for some really good indie games. I probably didn't play as many bigger games as I would have liked to, but I'm excited to look over what I played this year and give them some rankings. So here is the tier list, going from S, which is 10 out of 10 perfect, all the way down to D, which is barely played and not for me. There's a few games that I picked up and they just weren't really games that I really enjoyed, so I played for a little bit and then put them down. That doesn't mean to say that they're bad games, it just means that they're not for me personally. Let's take a look at some of the games that I've played. So let's start with Firewatch. This is a game that I streamed over on Twitch and it has been on my backlog for such a long time, so I'm really excited that I eventually got around to it. It is not what I was expecting. I really liked the story, but the gameplay was a little bit tricky at times and it took me a little bit longer than I would like to admit to figure out where I was meant to be going and what I was meant to be doing. That atmosphere, the visual style, the setting is so good in this game, and I think that the story and narrative works really well. You find out a lot of bits and pieces as you go through the game, and I think it just works really well. So that kind of makes up for the struggle of finding out where I was going. And even when I was a bit lost, the setting is so nice, so it didn't feel that bad. I'm gonna put this at an A tier. I liked it a lot more than I expected once I got into the story. It was a little bit of a slow start, but I played it all in one sitting and I didn't get bored throughout really, so I really enjoyed that, so I'm going to put it at an A tier. The next game is Tiny Glades. This is a really cute building game where you can make mainly castles and houses using their design tools. The design tools are so intuitive and it changes as you put things down, so if you put a path next to a wall it can turn into a door. This is a game that I've been following for such a long time over on TikTok and have been waiting forever for it to come out. It is such a chill game if you just want to sit and build and not have to think too much, and I've really enjoyed playing it so far. I am going to put it in B, but that's only because I haven't played it that much yet, so I would like to play it a bit more. Maybe it would move up if I played it a little bit more, but I still really love the game. The art style is amazing and the game devs have done such a good job. The next game is Golf with Friends. I played this one time because my friends wanted to play, and since then no one has wanted to play since. It's not a great game if you don't have friends to play it with, but the one time me and my friends did play it was fun. We had a fun time. I'm gonna put it at a B as well. Maybe if I had more friends it would be higher, but it's a fun little game to play. The next game, this is my most recent game that I've played, which is Hoa. This is kind of, I would say, Studio Ghibli inspired art style. The illustration, the settings was so good. I was really impressed by this game. It has been again on my to be played list for a really long time and I'm so happy that I got round to it. It's a beautiful story. Art, I was blown away by every single setting that we went to and I just really enjoyed it. The final level is a bit hard. The final level, it kind of inverts the controls and makes it a lot harder to play but it was still really good, and I think I'm going to put that one at an A tier. The next game, which I'm sure people aren't going to be happy about where I'm going to put this but it's Fallout 4. Fallout has never really been a game that I've played all that much. It doesn't really seem like a game that I would like. Skyrim is one of my favorite games, but Fallout never appealed to me. I probably only played a few hours of this, didn't get very far, and don't plan on going back to it either. I liked the settlement building, but it was just a bit hard, so I'm not gonna go back to it, but I know a lot of people love this game and I'm sure it is great if you're into that sort of game. The next game is Palia. This is a free-to-play open world game, sort of like an MMORPG, I guess it is. A lot of farming, you've got your own little place, houses to decorate, and there's a bunch of characters you can meet and quests that you can complete. I've played a little bit of this game. I didn't get the most hours in it, but I played it a little bit and it was fun to play. But I find a lot of the time when I play MMORPGs, if I'm playing them alone, it just feels like I'm doing a lot of fetch quests and doesn't feel like I'm really making progress, which is kind of what I found. I love the building and the decorating and I like that I could make my character, but I did kind of struggle with all of the quests just kind of running back and forwards and waiting for things in real time and things like that. But I'm gonna put it at a B just because I do like it and I think it is one that I will go back to at some point. even if it is just to decorate my house. The next one, this is more of a demo than an actual game. This is kind of a setup for the full game that's coming out at some point, but this is Mirth Melody, a Guitar Hero-esque game where you have to play out different songs. It's very, very short. I think there was only 3 songs that you could play, but it makes me kind of excited for the full game. Since this is very short, I don't think it can be in an A tier because it is kind of a demo, so we'll put that one at a B as well. The next game is Octopath Traveler. This is a game that I've put a lot of hours into. This is like the main game that I've been playing this year, but it is a JRPG and it's so hard to progress. I've put a lot of hours in, but I've kind of got to the point in the game where I just have to level everyone up to be able to progress any of the quests. So how it kind of works is you've got your party and only the people in your party level up as you play the game. So if you don't have someone in your party, they don't level up. So I have quite a lot of NPCs that are not good levels, so whenever I try to take them out they just die. But I do really like it. The art style is really cool. It is like 2D but like has a lot of depth. I guess no, it's kind of 3D. It's like a mix between 2D and 3D, and it's really cool. Like the art style is really cool and I really like it, but I do think I'm also gonna put this at a B just because it's a little bit tricky for me. The next game is another game that I've played on stream, which is Ori and the Blind Forest. I've not got very far in this game just yet, but it is another one that has been on my wish list for a long time. This is a 2D puzzle platformer, which is not my skill set. Puzzle platforming is so hard and Ori definitely has been a challenge. The art style and the setting and the colours kind of makes me want to put it in an A tier just because I don't really care that I'm struggling so much because the world is so beautiful, and I think it's got quite a good like difficulty arc as you're going through. Like it gets easier and then it gets really hard and then it gets easier again, so you're not frustrated all of the time, which has been nice. I think I'm gonna put it in an A. I feel like all the ones that are in A tier are just things that I find really pretty but that's like really important to me in games, so it makes sense. The next game is Rolling Hills, which is a game where you play as a little robot that makes sushi. It was fine, but I didn't really like it all that much. I thought that it was a little bit repetitive and I wasn't really getting much out of playing it. Didn't really want to play it that much. So I played for like probably a few hours. So I'm going to put that one at a C. I might go back to it at some point, but it wasn't one that really hooked me from the beginning. The next game is Wild Frost. This is a deck builder style game where you create your deck and then you have battles to progress through the story. This is one that I've only started playing very recently, so I don't have many hours in it. But I've quite liked playing the deck builder. It's not usually a type of game that I would go for, but it is actually really fun. I found that it's like you learn a lot of the different strategies that you can have as you go throughout the game, which has been fun to learn. I think I'm going to put this one also in a C tier. It's not like one that I'm like super excited about, but it's definitely one that I'm willing to play a little bit more. The next game is Down in Bermuda. This is a little puzzle game which I have on Switch. This one has been quite fun to play so far. The puzzles can be a little bit challenging, but they're not too bad. Like I'm not finding it really frustrating to play, which sometimes puzzly games can be for me. Actually quite relaxing, which has been really nice to just sit and chill while on the Switch. I'm gonna put this one in a B just because I don't think it's quite an A. It's quite a small little game. I don't think it's gonna take very long to finish. I think B makes the most sense. And the next game is Summer House. This is another little building game. Different to Tiny Glades, this is like a 2D builder where you have a lot of different elements and you can make little houses, and there's a few different settings that you can choose from and a lot of different elements that you can find and unlock. This is quite a small game, but I've really enjoyed playing it. I think because it's a lot more simple than Tiny Glade, it's been a lot easier for me to come up with ideas, which has been really fun. I think I might put this one in an A tier. I don't know if I could put it in S just because it is a small game, but like just because it's a small game doesn't mean it can't be S tier. You know what? We'll put it in S tier. It's just really fun. It's a really cute game. I'm always really happy with what I make at the end. The next game is Control. This is one that I haven't played for very long and sadly couldn't really get into. I'm gonna put it in D just because it's not really for me. I found the play style of it isn't really something that I was interested in. I did want a bigger game to play, so I was hoping that this would be it, but sadly it didn't really hit. The next game is Bluey. I did play this game with my niece. I didn't just play it on my own, although I did play some of it on my own just to get some achievements, of course. But it's a pretty fun game for a game that's made for probably 3-year-olds. And I'm gonna put it in C tier just because it's Bluey. It's not that I wouldn't play it again, but if it had have been me, I probably wouldn't have played it at all. I do like Bluey and it is really fun, but the game is very simple. And I would say if you want some easy achievements, it's definitely good for that as well. The next game is Magical Delicacy. This is a cooking inspired 2D platformer story game. I didn't play it that much. I wasn't really the biggest fan of the art style, which was a little bit off-putting for me to want to play it. I think that it didn't do a very good job of explaining what the goals were and what I was meant to be doing, so I found it was a lot of me running around and not really knowing what the plan was. I think it would probably be an alright game, but for someone else it's just not really the type of game that I would like, so sadly it is gonna go in D. The next game that I've been playing, which is a surprise to me, was Black Ops 6. I do like the Call of Duty games, but I kind of stopped playing them after Call of Duty 2, well, Black Ops 2, and that was the last time I was really into playing any sort of Call of Duty games. Black Ops 6 has kind of been a really fun throwback. It feels very similar to Black Ops 2 in my opinion, and I've really enjoyed getting back into just running around and shooting people if I'm being honest. I'm gonna put it in B as well. I know we've got a lot in B, but that's just the mid tier kind of. I don't think I would quite put it in an A because I'm not really that bothered about it. It's just kind of a fun one to stick on if I'm feeling bored and just want to do something. So I don't think it would be an A tier, but I am having fun with it, which is nice. It's very nostalgic. The next game is Close to the Sun. This was scarier than I was expecting. I am not a horror game person, and I was terrified from about 10 minutes in. I knew that it was gonna be a little bit scary, but I could not handle it. I was on edge and could not get very far. I'm gonna sadly not for me. The art style was really cool and I really liked the story setup. I may have to watch a video that explains it to me because I would like to know what happens, but I was way too scared. The next game is Gauntlets. This is another one that I've played on stream and it's a really cute game. It's a little builder game where you've got cute little gourds, I guess, little characters that run around and interact with the world that you create. It's a really simple little concept, but it's really cute. The colour and the art style is really, really nice, and there is interactable elements with Twitch as well, so your chat can join the game, which was really nice. It was fun to see people from chat running around my little village that I was creating. But I think I'm gonna put it again at a B, just because it's not one that I've really gravitated back towards. One that I will go back to at some point, and it is one that I'm excited to explore even further. The next game is My Time at Sandrock. This is a sequel from My Time at Portia, which is a game that I completed and absolutely loved. Sadly, I can't say the same for My Time at Sandrock. Going into that game, it felt really different. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's just because it's been a while since I played My Time at Portia, but My Time at Sandrock didn't really work for me. I didn't really find it as compelling to play as I did at My Time at Portia. I don't know if it's because the map's a lot bigger and the characters are very different, but sadly it is one that I barely played. I picked it up for a little bit hoping that I would be able to get into it, but I just really couldn't. The next game is Beasts of Marvilla Island. I think that's what it's called. This is a little game where you walk around and take pictures of all the little creatures. I've had this game for a really long time but have never actually played it, so it's been a fun one to get into after all this time. But I think I'm gonna put it at a C tier. I think I'm about 2 levels in at the moment and it's been really fun. It's not one that I'm like really excited about. It's been nice to like walk around and take pictures and explore the settings, but it's very linear gameplay. There is a few like puzzles and things and there is some story elements, but I don't think I'm fully invested at the minute, so it's gonna go in C tier. And the next game is very similar, which is Penko Park. This is a game where you are in an abandoned amusement park, go through and you take pictures of different creatures as you go through the park. However, this one I'm going to put at B tier because I really like this one a lot more than I've been liking the Beast of Marvilla Island. I thought that the creatures were really cute. They've got like funny descriptions of each of them, which was really fun to see. And I think the settings just and the art style is just really cool as well. And kind of finally is Cheer. This is a pretty open world game where you play as a little girl called Cheer. She can teleport into different objects. So like you can teleport into a bird and you can fly for a bit and things like that. It's got a lot of references to like the culture that the game is set in, and it's quite fun to play. I have completed it, but I will say it was hard to get through at times. There are so many collectibles and so many little puzzles to complete. I did intend on going around and completing everything, but there was so much to do. But I think like the overall story was really fun and I liked learning a lot about a different culture. I think I'm probably going to put it in A tier. I'm not going to put it in S tier just because the collectibles were a little bit tricky and I think did take away from it because I kept getting distracted trying to collect everything and doing all these little side missions. But the overall story, really, really fun. And these final 4 are games that I play every single year. So these were also on my list last year, but there's Dorfromantik, which is S tier, 10 out of 10 perfect. This is a little puzzle game where you collect little tiles to build out a town. Animal Crossing, again, S tier, 10 out of 10 perfect. Stardew Valley, again, S tier, 10 out of 10 perfect. This is forever my favourite game. Stardew Valley will always have a place in my heart and is a game that I will probably never stop playing. The final one is Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't played this as much as I would like to this year, but still, S tier, 10 out of 10 perfect. There is an update for Baldur's Gate coming out. I think it's at the beginning of next year, which I am so excited for. It adds a lot of new subclasses and a photo mode, and I'm gonna guess it adds some more interactions and things like that as well based on your subclasses, which is really exciting. Yeah, they're just games that I always play and will always be S tier for me. So these are all the games that I've played this year and their rankings. So we've got the D tier, which is games that weren't really for me. So we've got Fallout Control, Magical Delicacy, Close to the Sun, and My Time at Sandrock. C tier, which is games that were alright and I might go back to, but just didn't really reel me in that much. So we've got Rolling Hills, Wild Frost, Bluey, and Beast of Marvilla Island. B tier, these are games that I definitely will go back to, all games that I just really enjoyed playing, but not quite good enough to be A tier. So we've got Tiny Glade, Golf with Friends, Palia, Mirth Melody, Octopath Traveler, Down in Bermuda, Black Ops 6, Penko Park, and Gauntlet. Quite a mix of games there. And in A tier, these are games that I was really, really enjoying playing. They have a good art style, good story, and I was really interested in the gameplay. This was Firewatch, Hoa, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Cheer. Finally, S tier, perfect. These are games that I am absolutely obsessed with and will play time and time again. These are Summer House, Dorfromantik, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, and Baldur's Gate 3. Thank you for letting me yap on about all the games that I've played this year. I'm excited to see what games I'm going to play in 2025. I'm hoping that I can bring down the backlog a little bit. because there's too many games on there that I need to play. But if you want to watch me play some games, I do stream on Twitch on occasion, so you can follow me there. And I hope you all have a really good start to 2025. I hope that it's a good year for you all, or at least as good as possible. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.